Hello and welcome to my video, MGTOW, Crime and Prevention and the Justice System. Now, from my personal dealings with the police, most of the police I spoke to, they all reckon that most crimes are opportunity. So, for example, a guy is walking along and he sees a bike and he's like, fuck it, I'll steal the bike, and he just steals the bike. As opposed to waking up in the morning going, I can't wait to steal some bikes today. The way to prevent your bike being stolen would be to lock your bike up in the most secure location that you can find. I'm not sure if people have this as such, or you have a term for it in America. In the UK, we have a thing called the boy racer. A man, let's say aged between 30 and like 17, so he's just passed his driving test, and they drive around really fast, obviously above all the speed limits. However, what lots of the boy racers like to do is what we call driving on a circuit. So within their local area, they make an artificial circuit, which usually starts or ends in the centre of the town or city, and could start or finish in residential areas. So to repeat, so we have young men driving their cars dangerously fast or too fast, which is not road legal. So what is the most effective response to this? Is it to chase after the boy racers, possibly putting more people at risk? No, the answer's a lot simpler than that. It's to design the roads in such a way that you cannot drive excessively fast on them. And as you can see from these images, there's sort of lots of different designs and there's lots of different ways in which you can change the roads or change the way the roads work to basically stop people from driving like maniacs. And the thing is, once these measures have been put in place, it's very hard to get rid of them. Let's say that they put bumps in the road and you and your boy racer gang, you still want to go fast. You can't just drive over the bumps at high speeds. They'll break your car. So what's your other alternative? Destroy the speed bumps. I don't think destroying the speed bumps is really going to work. And another way the police prevent crime as such. Let's say most people get attacked down dark alleyways. Well, it's very simple. Get rid of the dark alleyway. Put lots of spotlights there. Put CCTV cameras there. Because people will be a lot less likely to commit crimes if they know that the whole area is recorded. So I've just given you some examples how the police in the United Kingdom use preventative measures to reduce the amount of crimes before they even take place, which in my opinion is the ideal scenario. Because in most crimes, there's sort of a victim, and then someone becomes a criminal, and then there's all the ramifications of that, when it'd be best if you just stopped people committing criminal acts before, as I previously mentioned. Now, how does this relate to MGTOW? Very simply, men are applying the same preventative measures into their life. So if divorce courts are biased, then don't get married. If the family courts are biased, don't have children. If women accuse you falsely, or men in general, of domestic violence, don't get involved with women. If women falsely accuse men of rape, don't have sex with women. All the things I've just spoken to you about, the only thing which is in the man's control is to walk away. And by this I mean prevent the instances of these happening. Because obviously, get married if you don't enter a long-term relationship, you don't, or try to minimise your interactions with women, and you don't have sex with women. This will provide you with the freedom to do whatever you want with your life, to make the most or make the little out of the remaining time you have left. Now, I have read recent examples of women just randomly accusing men of crimes. I can't remember the names of the people involved, but a man walked past a woman in a train station in the UK, and then she accused him of raping her. And if there wasn't video evidence, it would have made things significantly more difficult to the man to prove his innocence. So I'm making the point that even if you do all of the aforementioned, the fact you got a dick between your legs is probably means you're a target anyway. However, I'd hope that random accusations would be the most obscure. As I said, I've only read a few cases very, very recently. Before I talk about the next section, I'll repeat the point that I think most crimes are done by opportunists rather than hardened criminals. And also intention does play a big part in what determines criminal behaviour. That's why we have a difference between murder and manslaughter. Also, what the government or the state considers good and non-criminal behaviour isn't really subjectively or objectively based on truth or evidence. So, to summarise, in a gynocentric society, as in a female catering society, the bad or injustice done specifically against men and sometimes boys and children at the hands of women is either ignored, indifferent, or actually encouraged. So, time for my favourite, a test in morals and intellectual honesty. Okay, let's say two humans live together for 8 years. One of these humans earns a little bit more than the other human, and then after 8 years, these humans who previously were married decide to go their own separate ways. Do you think it's fair or just that the human in this example who doesn't have a dick and balls gets 50% of the assets for the human that has dick and balls? And on a societal level, marriage is nothing more than wealth distribution from men to women via the state. I would love to hear a rebuttal to this argument or statement, because I'm sure it would be hilarious. So I wake up one day and I think, do you know what? I think I'll steal some children. Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. So what I decided to do is steal 2 children from the human that gave birth to them. Oh wait, what's that? That's a crime. It's not a crime if the human that gave birth to them stole them from the other biological parent. That's not a crime. Now, yes, a few of the mothers have been prosecuted by this, but it's fucking very rare and far between, to the point that it looks like the state has a stance on it. It's like the state's position is, couldn't give a fuck. Okay, imagine we have 2 humans and they've been in a long-term relationship, and one, the slightly smaller human, hits the bigger human, and the bigger human reacts or defends themselves, and the police turn up, and then using the Duluth model, which says that the bigger human is always fucking guilty. So who initiated the violence? Which humans initiate the violence 70% of the time? And most domestic violence is reciprocal, as in they both beat each other up, which is not ideal. This time we have 2 humans and they are attracted to each other physically to the point they go and have sex. The next day, one of the humans, even though they agreed at the time, one of the humans decides that they actually regret the sex. I wonder which of the humans will be calling the police, and I wonder which of the humans will be getting arrested. By humans, I meant male and female in this example. So whilst I was saying about being sort of intellectually honest and moral, I was trying to add a tiny bit of humour to the grim reality of the facts. And the simple fact is we just have unjust systems. We have such low or few protections for our basic freedoms that it's hard, once you know the reality of the situation, to try to bullshit away from the reality. Because the first mental gymnastic is, oh, it won't happen to me. Okay, but you have one single life. So you have a choice of living a life with freedom and no restraints, and getting your dick wet less often or not at all, or getting your dick wet much more often and possibly ending up with no freedoms. I know that men often think with their dick, but I think is enough is enough. I'm sure you've realised with your interactions with various humans that people are pretty dumb. And unless someone's explicitly explained what the reality of your consequences are, how future ramifications are, then as MGTOW say, you'll live in your blue pill dream world. This is why many of the content creators keep bashing home and keep saying the same stuff over and over again. Firstly, because how do you know if someone's an existing subscriber or a brand new viewer? And secondly, it needs to be in the forefront of your mind that if I do these actions, these are the likely consequences. Now, if you understand and respect all the risks, and you're like, fuck it, I don't give a shit, and go for it, that is absolutely fine. Live your life how you see fit. But if you're completely and utterly ignorant and just swimming in your ignorance, this information could potentially save your life. Thank you for listening, watching, and goodbye.